She got pregnant for two guys. How is that even possible? And who could be the real father? Let's find out together as we dive into this amazing movie. Hey guys, today we're bringing another mind-blowing movie to your screen. This one will definitely leave you speechless and craving for more. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more captivating movies from us. The story centers around a young, handsome celebrity named Ray, every woman's dream guy. One beautiful day, Ray was live on social media, chatting with his fans. Suddenly, his girlfriend Samara came out, screaming his name. He quickly told his fans to hold on and introduced her as his cousin. This made Samara furious. She questioned him, which only got Ray angry. They argued, and Ray told her to leave if she couldn't accept how he lived his life. Upset, Samara stormed inside. Later that day, Samara was seen chatting with her friend about Ray. Her friend advised her to walk away from the relationship, but Samara didn't seem ready to let go. The next day, while Samara was in the living room, Ray walked in. She quickly stood up and handed him his phone, asking him to unlock it because he had received a message. This led to another argument. Samara then threatened to expose their 3-year relationship to the world. In response, Ray told her that would be the end of everything between them. They continued arguing as they went inside. But here's where it gets even more intense. What did Samara discover on Ray's phone that night? That night, Samara sneaked out with Ray's phone. Ray woke up and couldn't find it. To his surprise, he saw it in Samara's hand. He grabbed her wrist tightly while she begged him to let her go. In the middle of the confrontation, he asked her what message she had seen. Samara revealed that a message came in from one of Ray's side chicks, asking him to send $500,000 to terminate a pregnancy. Ray coldly told her that all men cheat, and if she couldn't accept it, she should leave. So viewers, what would you do if you were in Samara's shoes? Stay and fight or walk away for good? Let us know in the comments. The next morning, Samara and her friend Rosie were seen outside Ray's house, chatting. Rosie continued advising Samara after hearing what had happened between her and Ray. While they were still talking, Ray came out, glanced at Rosie, and handed a car key to Samara as an apology for the previous day. Samara was so excited that she ran off to check out the car, while Rosie stared at her in disappointment before walking away, leaving Samara and Ray to chat alone. Later that night, Ray was at a bar having a drink when a lady named Zara walked up to him, thrilled to see him for the first time since he was a celebrity. He hugged her and asked if she came with someone. She quickly replied that she could cancel her meeting. Ray then invited her to sit and ordered her a drink. They chatted for a while, enjoying each other's company. Moments later, Ray brought Zara home. Samara was shocked and confused, and to make things worse, Ray introduced Zara as his cousin. They both walked in, pushing Samara aside. She followed them inside, visibly angry and demanding to know what was going on. Ray ordered her to leave the room. Upset, Samara grumbled and walked out while Ray went back to spend time with Zara. But wait, who exactly is Zara, and what does she really want from Ray? The next morning, Zara was seen chatting with her fans online, proudly announcing Ray as her man. While live, her phone rang. It was her boyfriend. She answered and coldly told him never to call again because she had nothing to do with him anymore. Meanwhile, that same day, Eddie was on a call with his mother. She was urging him to settle down and even suggested getting someone from the village for him. But Eddie wasn't interested and ended the call. Back at Ray's house, Samara and Zara were in a heated argument over washing the dishes. Zara slapped Samara just before Ray entered the room. When they explained what had happened, Ray sided with Zara and scolded Samara for slapping his guest. This left Samara furious, questioning why he even had a guest in the house so soon after their argument. Still burning with anger, Samara followed Zara to her room, ready to fight. Viewers, at this point, who do you think is more wrong? Samara for not letting go, or Ray for playing with her emotions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. While in the room, Ray spoke to Samara about her jealousy, telling her she needed to calm down, knowing fully well that he was a celebrity. Samara was angry, but couldn't utter a word. Later, Samara was seen at Eddie's bar, talking on the phone with her friend about her relationship, making it seem like all men are the same. While she was still on the call, Eddie, who was standing next to her, asked if she needed anything. After a brief conversation, he suggested something cool for her to drink. The following morning, Samara and her friend Rosie came to Ray's house. Rosie was giving her instructions on what to do once she got inside. But shockingly, as they both entered, Ray, who had already been waiting, got down on one knee and proposed to Samara. This stunned Rosie, who had just advised her to be cautious. Samara accepted the proposal, and Rosie stormed out angrily, leaving Ray and Samara to chat in the living room. Back inside, Ray told Samara not to let anyone know she was engaged. Samara was surprised and questioned him. This led to an argument. Ray told her if she wasn't okay with it, she should drop the ring and leave. Before he could even finish, she quickly removed the ring and left angrily. Samara returned to Eddie's bar to cool off. She asked him for something stronger than what she had the previous day. Meanwhile, at Ray's house, Zara walked in and was surprised to see a ring on the table. She asked if he had been planning to propose to someone. Ray quickly lied, saying it was just a prop for an upcoming music video. Zara then shocked him by saying they needed to prepare because they were about to start a family. Confused, Ray asked what she meant, and Zara dropped the bomb. She was pregnant with his child. But here's the twist. Was this pregnancy even real, or just another setup to trap Ray? Back at Eddie's bar, Samara was already drunk and still asking for one more glass. Eddie refused, knowing she had had too much already. He told her it was getting late and he needed to go home, but Samara refused to leave. Meanwhile, back at Ray's house, he was still arguing with Zara, urging her to get rid of the pregnancy. But he was shocked when she demanded 5 million naira just to terminate it. Who does that? Ray couldn't sort it out immediately, and Zara gave him just 3 days to find the money. Now viewers, do you think Zara is really pregnant, or is she just playing Ray for his money? Drop your opinion in the comments below. The next morning, Samara woke up at Eddie's house, surprised to find herself in a different dress. Eddie was sitting next to her. She quickly looked at herself and asked why he had changed her clothes. Eddie calmly explained that she had thrown up on her dress, so he washed it. After a brief conversation, he offered her a cup of tea and stepped out of the room. That same day, Samara's friend Rosie went to Ray's house to look for her. She was worried since Samara hadn't returned home since the previous day. An argument broke out between Rosie and Ray before she eventually left. Meanwhile, Samara was in Eddie's living room, chatting with him. They shared some laughs and exchanged phone numbers. Later that afternoon, Samara returned to Ray's house. Ray immediately confronted her, demanding to know where she had slept the night before. She ignored him and walked away, telling him that she's not a cheat like he is. But here's the question. Was Ray genuinely worried or just afraid of losing control over her? That same day, Samara was on the phone with her friend. Her friend threw insults at Ray while Samara told her that she had met someone new. Moments later, Samara and her friend continued talking about Eddie. Her friend encouraged her to open her heart to him, but Samara insisted she was already engaged to Ray. They continued chatting afterward. The following day, Ray was in the living room when his side chick walked in. He asked for the ring she had taken the other day. She gave it back to him without hesitation. Ray was surprised and told her he had finally figured out who the real father was. This led to another argument. Ray told her to leave, and in anger, she warned him not to underestimate what she was capable of doing. That night, Samara and Eddie were on a phone call. After chatting for a while, they said goodnight and ended the call. So viewers, should Samara give Eddie a real chance, or is she better off staying away from both men? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The next day, Samara went to Eddie's house to surprise him with a birthday package. Wow, that was so thoughtful of her. Eddie, on the other hand, was truly excited because growing up, he had never received gifts or celebrated his birthday. They sat and chatted, getting to know each other better while enjoying a drink Eddie made. A few minutes later, they were both on the bed when Eddie asked Samara to be his girlfriend. They continued enjoying the moment together. Back at Ray's house, Samara was chatting with her friend about Eddie, telling her that he had asked her out. Later that afternoon, Samara and Ray were having lunch when Ray told her they could start preparing for the wedding. He also said he was ready to announce to the world that she was his girlfriend and that he wanted to meet her parents. Immediately, Samara's mood changed, and she excused herself. She had already discussed the situation with Rosie, who strongly advised her not to make the mistake of marrying Ray. They ended the call, and Samara drove off. But here's the twist. If Ray is now ready to commit, why is Samara still unsure? Is there something she's hiding or afraid to admit? 2 days later, Samara was with Eddie again, and they were enjoying a beautiful time together. A few hours later, Samara suddenly rushed to the restroom, leaving Eddie concerned as he asked if everything was okay. When she finally came out, it was revealed. She was pregnant. Eddie was overjoyed. Being the only surviving son, starting a family had always been his dream. He embraced Samara tightly. Now it's your turn. Viewers, should Samara tell Ray the truth about the pregnancy, or keep it between herself and Eddie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The following day, Zara was in the living room with her luggage when Samara saw her. She was surprised and asked what she was doing there. Still in shock, Zara broke the news to Samara, letting her know, in case she wasn't aware, that she was pregnant. Just then, Ray entered the room and tried to force Zara to leave, but Zara insisted she wasn't going anywhere. Samara went inside to pack her things while Ray tried to stop her, but she insisted on leaving to get some space and cool off. Afterward, she left. She went straight to Eddie's house, and he gladly welcomed her in. They chatted and spent time together. 2 days later, when Samara returned to Ray's house, Ray immediately opened her bag. Seeing what was inside, Samara became anxious, but Ray was excited when he discovered she was pregnant. He picked her up in excitement. The next day, Samara went to Eddie's bar and waited for him to finish. Once he was done, they sat down together and had a discussion. The following day, Samara was with Ray again when he told her he wanted them to relocate abroad to raise their children. Samara wasn't comfortable with that decision and made some excuses for why she wanted to stay in Lagos. Ray agreed to her wishes, and they continued their time together. That night, Eddie was on the phone with Samara, complaining that she wasn't ready to tell her parents what was going on. Samara told Eddie she would call him back and ended the call, leaving Eddie surprised by her behavior. Meanwhile, at Ray's house, Samara was doing her makeup when Ray came in and handed her a check for 5 million naira to support her business. He told her that he was ready to be the man she had always wanted. Samara hugged him in excitement. But here's the big question. Does Ray truly have the right intentions, or is he just trying to control Samara's decisions? Now, viewers, do you think Samara should accept Ray's offer and stay with him, or continue to explore her options with Eddie? Let us know in the comments below. The following morning, Eddie was at the bar giving instructions to one of his staff when a call came in. He excused himself and picked up the phone, realizing it was Samara's friend calling to tell him what Samara had been doing. Eddie was shocked as he exclaimed in surprise, "What? This is incredible. Guys, what do you think about Samara?" Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Meanwhile, Ray was seen driving very fast. Not long after, Eddie knocked on Samara's door. Surprised to see him, Samara asked how he found where she lived. It then dawned on her that it was her friend who told Eddie about it. Eddie was disappointed, realizing that all this time, while Samara was coming to see him, she was still in contact with her boyfriend. As they argued, the unexpected happened. Ray showed up unannounced, angrily barged in, and went straight to Eddie. Ray poured out his anger on him, threatening to lock him up if he didn't leave immediately. As Eddie left, he stopped to remind Samara not to dare give another man his child, or she would regret it. Eddie went home feeling frustrated. Back at Samara's house, she began packing up her things to leave when Ray came in. They had a heart-to-heart conversation, with Samara telling him that she was already in love with Eddie. She asked Ray, "What if the child isn't yours? What if the child is Eddie's?" That night, both Eddie and Samara were drunk with frustration, and Samara couldn't sleep, feeling restless. The following morning, Samara was on the phone with her friend, spilling the truth that she had opened up to both men. Samara wasn't happy with her, and after the call, she ended the conversation. Later that night, Samara went to see Eddie at his bar to talk to him. They chatted, and Samara agreed to go for a test to find out who the real father of the child was. 2 days later, Samara quickly called her friend to break the news that the child was Eddie's. She was so excited. The moral lesson of this movie is, always be honest and transparent in your relationships. Deception and keeping secrets can lead to pain and regret, and honesty is key to finding true happiness. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more captivating movies from us. Bye!